What if I told you that the oldest continent on Earth is hiding secrets that challenge everything we know about human history? Australia isn't just kangaroos and coral reefs. It's a place where rocks are older than most mountains on Earth, where water vanishes within hours, and where living creatures survive for decades without a single drop of moisture. And at the end of this video, I'll show you the seventh place, confirmed by science but still unexplained by it. Stay until the end. Let's get into it. In the middle of the Australian desert stands a rock 348 meters tall and nearly 10 kilometers around. But its real secret is underground. Geologists have confirmed that what you see above the surface is just the tip. The main body of Uluru goes down, by some estimates, more than 6 kilometers into the earth. On its surface, there are cave paintings at least 30,000 years old, among the oldest on the planet. Some of them are located in spots so hard to reach that researchers still argue about what tools could have made them. Before rain, the rock starts producing a low-frequency hum. Physicists explain it as the stone expanding from heat, but measurements show that the frequency falls into the infrasound range, the range that directly affects human emotions. That's the real reason every single visitor to this place feels a strange mix of awe and unease. It's not imagination, it's physics. In southwestern Australia, there's a rock that looks exactly like a 9-meter ocean wave frozen in stone. The rock itself is 2.7 billion years old. It formed at a time when complex life didn't yet exist on Earth. The wave shape was carved by underground water, slowly dissolving the base of the rock over thousands of years. But the mathematical precision of that curve still divides geologists. The colored stripes you see on the surface aren't paint. Each stripe is a separate mineral flow that ran down the rock face over millions of years. At the base of the rock, there's an ancient water collection system built directly into the landscape. For a long time, people thought it was a natural formation. Modern hydrologists say it works. In the Blue Mountains sits one of the oldest cave systems on the planet. Over 300 caves have been officially mapped. The real size of the system is still unknown. The limestone here is 340 million years old. And here's the part that surprised researchers. The cave chambers formed before the mountains above them existed. The caves are older than the mountains. That goes against everything we thought we knew about how cave systems develop. An underground river runs through multiple levels of the caves, but its source has never been found. When scientists pumped colored dye into the system to track the water flow, it appeared at points that, by every calculation, should have had no connection to where it was released. Inside the caves grow helictites, stalactites that ignore gravity and grow sideways and in spirals. Nobody has ever managed to replicate this process in a lab. In the shallow waters of Western Australia live Stromatolites, the direct descendants of the very first life forms on Earth. As a biological form, they are over 3.5 billion years old. They are the organisms that created the oxygen atmosphere of our planet. Without them, nothing complex, including us, would exist. They disappeared from most places on Earth, pushed out by more advanced organisms. Here, they survived. The water in Shark Bay is twice as salty as normal seawater, which keeps their competitors away. But why this ecosystem has stayed stable for thousands of years, science still can't fully explain. Analysis of water samples revealed ancient microorganisms that had never been described in scientific literature before. Today, this place is used as a living laboratory for studying the limits of biological survival. Off the southern coast of Australia sits a lake with vivid pink water. It doesn't lose its color even when you put it in a clear glass. Scientists have been studying it for over 2 centuries. There is still no complete explanation. The water is 10 times saltier than the ocean. The leading theory points to pigment-producing bacteria and algae, but studies from 2015 to 2019 found previously unknown ancient microorganisms in the water, whose role in the color hasn't been determined. The bigger mystery is stability. With extreme salinity, high temperatures, and almost no standard nutrients, the ecosystem stays perfectly balanced. It has been this way for as long as anyone has been watching. Nobody knows why. In the remote Kimberly region, carved into cliff faces, are images that are over 17,000 years old, possibly the oldest art on Earth. The figures show people in elaborate headdresses, wearing decorations, caught in dynamic poses. The anatomical accuracy and the layered technique used to apply the pigments set these images apart from anything else created at that time. The authors are unknown. The indigenous people of the region today don't claim these images as part of their tradition and have no oral stories connected to them. The technique, multiple layers of pigment applied in sequence to create depth, suggests organized, taught skill, not a random act of expression. This isn't primitive drawing. It's evidence of a culture we know almost nothing about. And here it is, the 7th place. Lake Eyre is Australia's largest lake, covering 9,500 square kilometers. 9 years out of 10, it is completely dry. Water arrives only once every few decades, when heavy rains fall hundreds of kilometers away in the upper reaches of Cooper Creek. The water travels slowly toward the basin for weeks. But the moment it arrives, something happens that scientists call one of the most remarkable biological events on the planet. Within hours, billions of living creatures appear in the lake. Shrimp, algae, fish. Their eggs and spores had been lying in the dry salt flat for decades in extreme heat with zero moisture, and they survived. The mechanism behind this preservation is being actively studied by biologists around the world. When the water evaporates, it leaves behind a hard salt crust so flat and smooth that in 1964, a land speed world record was set right here on its surface. Every few decades, the water returns, and every time it does, scientists come back and realize they still don't fully understand this place. Australia is the flattest, driest, and oldest continent on Earth. Beneath its scorched surface lie answers to questions that science is only just learning how to ask. Look for the mysteries where others see only desert. See you soon.